We're back here in Tucson, Arizona, near Tucson, Arizona. We got another project to accomplish today with the Struck Magnatrack. Let's get started. Tom, what are we trying to accomplish here?
All right, well, my neighbor wants to make an enclosure for his goats.
Okay.
All right, so he's already got some fences that he...
Oh, that's going to be the goat fence right there.
That's the fence, right?
Okay.
And so we're just going to clear out some land a little bit, get rid of this brush so he can put the fence up.
Brush? I don't see any brush.
Well, we've got the grass, and then there are a few bushes there that we've got to get rid of.
Oh.
To clear it out.
Midwestern here sees a push mower.
Yeah, except that you're going to destroy your blades because look at all the rocks we have.
Oh, okay, you got me there. So we're gonna try to take, and he doesn't want this grass in the pen.
That's correct. And we could level it a little bit and get some of these rocks shifted away.
He didn't want the rocks really either,
no.
The bigger rocks.
That's correct.
Okay, well that works for us. And how big of an area is it? We're going up there toward the camera a little bit, and then this is the corner right here?
Well, we're starting just this side of the chicken coop and going down to this rock. This is
this rock, this is the end.
This is our northeast corner.
Okay.
And then down to where that bare tree is, or that bare shrub, that's the southeast corner.
Okay. Hey, look behind us. Right here in the yard, a Serraro. How old do you suppose that one is?
That looks like it's less than 75 years old because it doesn't have an arm. They start to grow arms at 75 is what I've been told.
Unbelievable. I think I could bulldoze that thing over with this Struck.
They are protected around here, so you're not allowed to remove them without a permit. And if you do that, you've got to replant it somewhere else.
You really don't want too deep. Of course, I don't think we'll be able to get too deep, right?
Well, the thing is, this has a float mode for the blade.
Which should be about right.
Well, it doesn't work that well because it tends
to dig in.
It digs deeper into the dirt the farther you go, so you actually have to sit there and manage the lift of the blade.
It's interesting. There are no feet on the back for that. I'm going to give this thing a try.
Do your worst. Worst that can happen is you got to do it over, which makes it even more fun.
The worst that can happen is that he has to do it over after I'm gone.
Go for it.
Now, as a Midwesterner, I really don't understand this project, and that's probably one of the most fascinating parts to me is just how the different soils, the different climates, there's just different problems that have to be addressed. The property owner had indicated to me that this grass would be a problem for his goat pen. Another theme for today is just how much fun I'm actually having trying to operate this Struck. No, I don't think it's a good fit for me to actually have one on my own property, but hey, it's a lot of fun just to try to experiment with it.
He's got it figured out already.
I'm trying to use a combination of the float feature as well as manual control to be able to keep the blade at the height I want. When I watched Tom later in this episode, I realized that's probably a mistake. I should just try to control it manually and forget that the float exists.
Handle the blade.
Tom said that they don't have this grass very often. In fact, he said in the several years that he had lived here, this was the only time the rains came just right and allowed this grass to grow up. He said, and it makes sense to me, that it seems pretty dangerous to have all this dead grass around given the fire hazard.
It needs the Ventrac weight transfer feature. That would help with the float digging in too hard. There's probably no way I can push this big tree down in one fell swoop, so I'm gonna get some of this brush out of the way so you can see maybe. Why not? Just bulldoze it over.
Yeah.
Is anybody going to San Antonio or Phoenix, Arizona? Any place is all right as long as I can operate a dozer. Oh, it looks like there's more to get there. Okay, it'll push. There's no question about that. It took that little stump out with no issue whatsoever. Okay, so the challenge I have is to take the grass without digging in too far. The way the blade is shaped, it wants to dig on in. Tom, I could get used to this thing. I would have to have a better seat. What do you think, Tom?
I think you're picking it up rather quickly. The hard part is balancing the blade, and you're doing that great.
It's hard to balance the blade up and down. It's a little hard for me with the tilt of the blade to get that perfect. The float works most of the time in these conditions. I'm afraid in my property the float would do nothing but go straight down.
Dig you a big trench.
So I would have to have some sort of skids on the back. I don't know if that's an option or not, skids on the back of the blade.
It'd be worth looking into if that's what you need done.
Yeah, I don't think you need it here.
No, the nice part is if it doesn't work the first time, you get to do it again, and that makes it twice as fun.
More seat time. That's exactly right. What do you think he's wanting here? Do you think he's probably wanting a little more than that, isn't he?
No, I think you've got this cleared out pretty well. If you want to get some of these up there by the tree, don't hit the saguaro, of course.
Yeah, can't hit the saguaro.
But all this brush,
Oh, that green stuff.
I don't think we're going to be able to take that out with the dozer. But you can
Oh,
try.
come on.
You can try.
You sure he wants that out?
Oh yeah, he wanted all that all the way up to the barn.
Tom says we're not going to be able to push this guy. And I was teasing. I really have no idea. I have no idea what kind of root system these things would have, so probably Tom is right.
You're not budging it.
It's interesting, if I push, the blade tilts around on its own, and I can't stop it even if I try to tilt the blade. It just doesn't do that. See, it keeps taking it all the way to its limit.
Yeah, we can chain it to the ripper if you want to try pulling it out.
Well, let's do that, because I don't think we're going to be able to push it out. I'm interested that the angle blade is not, it
Right.
won't hold it. I bet there's a pressure relief in there that doesn't allow that,
Yeah, there
just
must
so
be.
you don't put too much pressure on it.
He didn't expect me to be able to remove that. I mean, I told him we probably wouldn't, but we could try the chain. I would run it over first with the blade all the way up. That way you get rid of all the prickly stuff that's in your face.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out there's a relatively tall stump in there that this blade won't raise high enough to go over. And again, you might notice that when I don't hit it dead center, the blade just simply angles backwards
Wow.
on its own. I don't really like that. I wish I had some more push off at the end of the blade, get a little bit more leverage, but that's the way it works. So next I thought I might be able to get the ripper over the stump and see if I could either push it backwards a little bit to get the brush out of the way, or maybe even use the ripper itself to pull some of the roots. And while I could push the brush out of the way a little bit, I just couldn't get the ripper far enough back
Put the
to
ripper
get
down.
under those roots. It's just kind of the way the ripper was angled. I would hit the stump with the tracks before I would get back far enough to start the digging.
I was able to hook one small root.
Yeah?
That's all I was able to get. This thing's really gnarly in there. Yeah, it's big. I don't think we'll be able to pull it out. I'm interested in this because of the desert plants. I'm wondering how tough a tree like this is to get out, because you would think no bigger than it is that you just push it right over. But it's entirely possible that that thing's been there for years and years and years. So it may be rooted a lot tighter than what I would think is possible. So that's part of the interest to me. I don't think we're going to be able to pull it out of there. You think we can?
Oh, you weren't even able to get the branches off, huh?
No, I couldn't get the blade over it. It's got a really big bottom stump there.
Oh, yeah. No, we're just going to spin the tracks. But I don't think the goats are going to mind that much. Don't they eat this stuff?
Okay, how about you finishing up there, or wherever you want to finish, get some more rocks and show us how it's really done.
Okay.
There's no question Tom does a smoother job controlling that blade height. I was having trouble getting used to the hydraulic control.
Luckily for this job, it doesn't have to be perfect. Hey, I guess I'm Huckleberry Finn today, huh? Is it Tom Sawyer that makes everybody else do the work?
Right, yeah.
Well, that'll be good enough to put the fencing in, and then I can adjust as necessary once we've got that all set up.
I'm impressed. This is quite a machine. I don't see any reason to go with the commercial machine for what your needs are. I think you chose the right one.
The oil temperature never gets above 140 degrees.
So it had a better oil cooler. It also had a lot more oil flow. You for sure didn't need more oil flow. The blades already reacts really quickly. You for sure didn't need that. No more than you're going to use it. I can't imagine that the bigger diesel engine is worth it.
No, and
This one's gonna be
I've used it when
reliable.
it's 95 degrees for 6 hours, and it doesn't overheat at all.
So I think you chose the right one, and you know, it's kind of fun to have a dream as a child and then be able to fulfill it, even if it's not as big of equipment as what the dream was, right?
And it's not as fast as an airplane.
But you can mess up in this thing.
Right, that's true. And it's a lot of fun. You can come down here anytime you want some dirt pushing therapy.
So Tony's gonna put a fence up around here. He's gonna put his goats in here. I've never understood goats.
I'm just figuring them out today. This is my first exposure.
I mean, they're kind of cute and everything, and
They
just
don't
don't-
really obey commands, you know, like you could train your dog or...
but we did learn that you can have a squirt bottle of water and you can make them not do whatever.
And they do like to follow you. If you just run, they follow you.
Tell our viewers one more special reason why they ought to get a Magnatrack.
Well, your machine, your 1025R, is kind of like a Swiss Army knife, right?
Yeah.
It does a whole bunch of things. This is more like a meat cleaver. It does one
Okay.
thing really well. If your viewers know they need a bulldozer, nothing else will do, right? But for a lot of applications like you do, traversing people's yards and stuff like that, that kind of tractor is more suitable for that kind of work. But for somebody who needs actual bulldozer work, They already know that this is the only thing that'll do the job.
Never knew I would ever have the opportunity to actually use one, and I was at the same time impressed and thought that I could use on my property for certain things, and then at the same time I say, well, I don't think I need one.
It's better suited for a construction site, especially in your part of the country where everyone has a lawn, and this is just going to destroy their lawn. But if you've got a project where you got to move a lot of dirt or a lot of gravel, this is the best thing to do it.
Pretty cool. Thank you, Tom. Really
Thank you, Tim.
appreciate you inviting us out. TractorTimeWithTim.com/visit me if you have a unique tractor or a unique tractor project that you'd like us to visit. Now, Tom submitted his request 2 years ago. Very patient of you, Tom. I appreciate you.
It's a long way to get here.
But if you have a unique use, let us know. Tom filled out the form just like that, and we got back to him immediately, but then we deferred coming out here until, well, we could get around to it.
It worked out perfectly, I think.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on
Tractor Time with
Tim.
Bullseye the Cat.
He's not even here.
I know, I missed the cat part. I think of your channel as a cat channel.
Bullseye's not even here. I mean, we could have brought him. I guess I saw somebody with a dog on the airplane. And
Tony has a Siamese cat, but he's shy.
For as the soil makes the sprout come up and a garden causes seeds to grow, so the sovereign Lord will make righteousness and praise spring up before all nations.
Yeah, whenever you were in the garage, with Mary and Martha, and they're crawling around looking for attention, I'm like, please pet the kitty. Come on, pet the kitty. And you're trying to ignore them so you can get your filming done.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying, how do you concentrate? I said, oh, dumb cats. We miss Mary and Martha, though. Yeah. We really do. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they disappeared so soon.